Hi, welcome to Streaker TV. My name's Sean Savage and I'm from Streaker Marine. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time on the Lowrance range. We have quite the variety of models here at our shop, and we also have a beautiful Cruisecraft 625 Explorer hardtop on the water with a fully decked out Gen 3 HDS12 combined units, all linked up ready for us to go and have a play with. We want to show you a few features and a few little things that we often get asked here at the shop on how-tos. So we'll spend a little bit of time on the water now. If you have any questions after the video, feel free to leave any comments you'd like to at the end, and obviously subscribe and give us a big thumbs up at the end. I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, so we can see right now that both units are showing the exact same thing. That's pretty unnecessary in this world. So what we can obviously do is we can share our data through, let's say, our chart on this one, and leave our fish finder running on the second. The great thing about when you Ethernet these bad boys together is we can share and have them both going at the same time. Zooming in on this one here, it's got a gold chart in it, so as we zoom in, we're getting a lot more detail and a more refined area. The thing that it's also doing is it's charting right now with north up. Personally, it's not my favorite. I prefer to go chart options, orientation, and have my heading up, which means whatever I'm looking at the windscreen, I'm going in that same direction on my GPS. Right now we've still got our bird's eye view going on, so we're looking from the top of the screen. I also don't mind this 3D option. 3D gives you a bit more of a scope forward of where we're going, and it gives us a better idea on what we're sort of looking at. Alright, so another screen that I really like when I'm charting for my GPS is I'll run a split screen, and that split screen, I can add new split screens on this bad boy by pushing this plus button here. Once I've done that, I've got an empty panel. I can select my chart and I'll run a steering arrow next to it. If I have both of those together and push the save button, one is going to be allocated as more of a bird's eye view of where I am. Typically with that bird's eye view one, which is this one here, I'll flick that and I'll zoom it up a fair bit. I'll get a real broad horizon of where I am and have a bit of a scope and aspect of where I'm going and what I'm sort of up against. This guy on this side here, now you can see I was just zooming in on this one here. I had the opportunity to do that one only because I have an orange box around this particular screen. If I flick over to this one here, tap it, now I'm using this section of the screen, or this split, and I can zoom right in and get a really good aspect of depth contour lines, channel markers, and get a really good feel of where I'm going. So zoomed in on my 3D or my steering arrow, and zoomed out a bit more on my GPS will give me the best of both worlds. If I want to slide a fish finder in that as well, I can obviously go back to that plus button. I'll put in the chart, I'll put in a sonar, and I'll put in a steer. Once I've done that, I also get the option to choose where I want to put those. So I might want my fish finder to be the primary part of the screen, so I move it over to this panel, and that gives me the option to have my fish finder bigger than the other two. The other thing I have is my panel adjustments here. By pushing this button, I can flick it across and have it in all sorts of directions, move them wherever I wish. I personally like this guy here, put this one here, save there, and here she comes. So that'll give me my fish finder, my GPS. Now I want my GPS to be zoomed out a little bit as we did earlier, my steering to be zoomed in, and then on my fish finder I can tap that, and now I can scroll back and go through my history and do whatever I want to do. The thing that people have to be conscious of is that, for example, if I go back to my chart screen, is a lot of the time I'll get phone calls where people say that they got to keep moving the screen to keep the boat on the screen or in the middle preferably. Typically the reason for that, because they're a touch screen, when you actually touch the screen itself, it gives you these grid lines here, and these grid lines mean I can zoom in and out and move myself away from where I currently am, so I can move anywhere I want, whole world, move away. But now my boat's not in the center of the screen and I've chosen to look somewhere else. When I've selected to do that, the first thing that will come up on my screen on the top right hand corner is clear cursor. What that will mean is if I push that button, I'm back in the middle of the screen, and as I zoom to the middle of the screen. So you can see here we're doing all this fun stuff on the GPS, and our fish finder is still going very nicely over there through this Ethernet lead. So if you do find yourself trying to find the boat and track your boat around, you'll typically find there'll be a cursor option up here. It'll either be restore cursor or clear cursor. And if it says restore cursor, that means that you're in the center of the boat, which we are right now. If I restore it, that means it's going to take me back to where we were a moment ago. And that could be wherever our cursor was, where we moved it to in a previous time. So we moved that over the Altona Bay earlier. We want to go back to where we are, we clear cursor. Bang, there she is.